Did the Prophet discourage the poor from begging, from soliciting, from asking, whatever means they do it? I mean, even the wealthy, the most wealthy persons that we admire the most are politicians. In the U.S. election process, they're going around asking people to give them money. And many of them, like the current U.S. president, is a wealthy man. But he's going around asking for money. It's a very different kind of money that the needy are asking for. Did the Prophet, peace be upon him, discourage the needy from asking for money, for begging?
The Prophet ﷺ prohibited a Muslim from humiliating himself and ask others. Companions say that we gave the pledge of allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ to obey him and not to ask anyone for anything. The companions say that a man would be riding on his camel or his ride and his whip falls from his hand. He would not ask the pedestrians to hand him that whip. He would dismount, take it himself, and get back on his ride. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that it is best for one of you to take a rope and collect wood for firewood from the forest, from the outskirts, and put it in a pile on his back and sell it, rather than begging people. They may give and they may not.
I appreciate you making that clarification. It's not just that he discouraged it. You said the Prophet, peace be upon him, prohibited.
Indeed, in the other hadith, which is scary, the Prophet said, alayhi salam, one of you may continue to beg people until on the day of judgment he would come without meat in his face. So in the day of resurrection, when you can see one another and you see someone without meat, without flesh on his face, because he had spilled all his dignity and honor in this life by begging people. This is how we would recognize him on the day of judgment. So definitely this is sinful, this is haram, and it's indignifying to a person to beg and extend his hand. In the Quran, Allah tells us that the upper hand is better than the lower hand. So the giving hand is far greater than the lower one.
What kind of guidelines should we follow in terms of interacting with people who are needy, who approach us and ask us for money? Some are very clever and they recognize this guidance from the Prophet, peace be upon him, and they have done the equivalent of collecting wood and selling it. Maybe it's a packet of Kleenex tissue, maybe it's mint to put in the tea, maybe it's whatever. If they're not doing that and they're just asking for money, what should be our response? See,
people differ. Sometimes we tend to be judges. We tend to be Sherlock Holmes or Columbo or whatever, investigating. You want money? Why? How much do you own? Show me your bank account. Where do you live? And this scrutiny may spoil your charity. And others may give without even thinking. Now, those who give will be rewarded, no doubt in that, even if the recipient is not needy.
So participating in something that prohibited by the Prophet, by giving money, Prophet says don't beg, but if they come to me and I give,
you are rewarded, without any doubt. However, it is like telling you, I have an investment that if you invest $10, it will generate 100. And I have another investment, if you invest $10, it will generate $1 million. Which one will you choose?
Higher.
The million.
Right.
And this is exactly when it comes to people begging from you. You said, I'm going to give because I'm going to be rewarded. So here is 50 pounds. Yes, but if you kept this 50 pounds and looked for real needy people, a widow, an orphan, someone who people do not recognize, and give it to him, this would be equivalent to the million. rather than the 100.